Hello, and welcome to POMA Does, a podcast produced by the Pennsylvania Osteopathic Medical Association. We provide a voice for osteopathic medicine and share insights on issues important to osteopathic physicians, residents, and students, as well as those who embrace the osteopathic philosophy. POMA's mission is to promote the distinctive philosophy and practice of osteopathic medicine for our patients, our members, and the communities we serve. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this podcast. My name is Mike Venditto. I am the educational chair for this year's 117th Annual Clinical Assembly and Scientific Seminar, which is going to be held at the Kalahari Resort up in the Poconos from Wednesday, May 7th to Saturday, May 10th. With me today is Dr. David Kuo, who's the vice chair of the convention. What I'd like to do with Dave today is to talk about what's in store for this convention as far as the lectures and other activities. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Dave so we can talk a little bit about Wednesday and some other things that are going on at this convention. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Hi, everybody. So Wednesday we'll have opening remarks with our chair, Anthony DeMarco from the Philadelphia area. And we'll have an opening session speaker, Ayana Kersey McMullen, DO, who's going to talk about the community medicine and how the environment affects health in our patients in the community. And then we have a special speaker, Dave Raymond, who you may know as, I believe is the first, Mike, right? Was he the first Phillies fanatic? Even though I'm from Pittsburgh and I'm a Pirates fan, I do like the Philly fanatic. I think Dave's done a great job setting that up for the future fanatics over the years. So he's going to talk to us. That's going to be an exciting talk about his life as a Philly fanatic and other medical issues. So that's one definitely not to miss. That should be really exciting. And then in the afternoon, we have a cardiology session, topics like peripheral artery disease, aortic stenosis, medical treatment of CAD, things like that. So stuff that we see every day in the offices and in the hospital. So I think it's really practical information. And then what's happening on Thursday, Mike?
Okay. As you may know by looking online, the overall theme of this convention is wellness, both wellness for the practitioner and wellness for the patients. We also have mini themes. And what I mean by that is, for example, Thursday in the morning, we have a mini theme of GI. We're going to have lectures on non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease. So there's a little GI topics on Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, there's another mini topic of sleep medicine. We're going to talk about not just obstructive sleep apnea. What do you as a practitioner do with a sleep report and other modalities other than CPAP? Are there surgical modalities? I'm proud to say that my nephew, the next one in the Venditto osteopathic line, will be talking about parasomnias, which is like restless leg, night terrors, sleepwalking, and things like this. So I think it's going to be a very interesting session overall. You want to tell us about Friday, Dave?
Friday is kind of like a medical potpourri. In the morning, we have some pulmonary lectures like asthma, pulmonary hypertension, and then we have some infectious disease stuff, emerging pathogens, HIV, specifically anal cancer screening in patients with HIV. We also have a couple pain management lectures in the morning session. And then in the afternoon, we have some lifestyle medicine lectures, blue zones, aging well, falls and frailty, nutrition, food is medicine. As we're finding out, food is more and more important in determining our health in the future. So we'll have a really good potpourri of lectures on Friday. And then Saturday, Mike, what's going on for that?
Well, we wind up on Saturday with a lot of lectures that are required for licensure, patient safety lectures and things like this. One in particular that I think is very interesting. Pamela Goldman is going to talk about helping patients navigate the cost of healthcare with the proverbial donut that they talk about with medications and copays and things like this. We also have, in tune with the wellness theme that we have, how do you deal with stress? How you, as a physician, deal with stress in your patients and in yourself, and things like compassion fatigue, not something you hear about all the time, but, taking care of patients that may have serious illnesses or terminal patients is a drain on the practitioner. How do you refurbish and replenish yourself? So I think that session is going to be nice to end up on Saturday. I'll turn it over to Dave for a second, but I wanted to say that this is a bargain, folks. We're talking about $17 a credit. I think the cost is $590 if you register before April the 1st. It goes up to $690 on April 1st. And then if you register on site, it's $790 for all these credits, for 30-some credits, including at least 4 patient safety lectures, you're not going to find a bargain like this anyplace else. You really aren't. You want to talk about other benefits of this conference?
Yeah, dude, best value for osteopathic CME in Pennsylvania, no doubt, and maybe in the country. So, when you just talked about well-being, we're at Kalahari Resorts, man. We're going to have water slides out the wazoo. There's a swim-up bar, Mike, that we've taken advantage of when we've been there. Each room, by the way, when you register, you get 4 wristbands, which gives you access to all the water park and all the stuff at the resort. So that doesn't cost you extra. Just the cost of the room with your registration gives you 4 wristbands there. So I think that's a really good value for, docs with families. It's a time for you to unwind and relax, catch up, reconnect with old friends. Maybe some of your teachers who taught you, they might be giving some of those lectures. Great for networking, as usual, in these big conferences. Friends of yours who may be from the western side of the state and you're from the eastern side of the state, you haven't seen them in a while. That's a great way for you to reconnect and hang out again. Also, Mike, don't forget the live attendees. You also get access from May 15th to June 15th to the recorded lectures. So if you decide to play hooky one day, not that I would suggest that, but you can watch those days lectures, the following month. So I think it's a great opportunity for all of our docs in Pennsylvania. Oh, and by the way, there is some other work being done. The governance meetings, Mike, are held during that week, and we'll be bringing in our new president, George Walters, and on Friday night is his big Friday night party, inauguration party that everybody's invited to, I believe, Mike, right? You don't have to be a governance person, right? So everybody there is invited to celebrate with George in his new position. And then the wellness for not only patients, for the docs, but for the patients, our community. I think there's a blood drive on Thursday, Mike, right? Is there?
That is correct.
So not only helping the community by treating them properly, but you can donate blood and help the community save a lot.
I think overall, this is truly a bargain. You're not going to find this many CME credits and fulfilling the patient safety and opioid requirements too that we have probably anyplace else in the state. Now, we're not doing child abuse reporting this year. It will be done next year as part of this 2-year cycle for licensure. I really strongly encourage people to come on up, the networking, seeing friends that you haven't seen in a year or things like this. And we'll have activities too, not only the water park, but there's going to be morning walks that you can take. And needless to say, if you have preteens, kids, there's an arcade down the ground floor of Kalahari, the likes of which you've never seen before. It's the most massive arcade I've ever seen with real live bumper cars in the arcade. So it's fairly large. It's a lot of fun. I strongly encourage people to go online, read about what we talked about. There's the tentative program listed there, along with all the activities. Register for the conference and register for the room. And I hope to see you up in the Poconos up in May.
And if for no other reason, Dr. Venditto and I will be there. We can have a beer together with everybody. So please join us in Kalahari in May.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of POMA Does. Be sure to subscribe to POMA Does wherever you listen to your podcasts, and tell your friends and colleagues to tune in. Learn more about osteopathic medicine and POMA on our webpage, www.poma.org, and join the conversation on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Or email us at poma@poma.org. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time for another edition of POMA Does.